Hey, Kyle's Wonderful here again with another wrestling review. This time it's NJPW G1 Night 5 from July 24th, 2022. So let's just kind of get into it. I didn't have quite as much time to write a preview this time. So not as much in-depth previews as usual, but it seems like a pretty good show. And the main event tonight, Naito versus Tanahashi, was really looking good. So let's just get right into it with the preliminary tag matches. The first match of the night will be Chaos, Goto, Yano, and YOSHI-HASHI versus House of Torture, Dick Togo, Evil, and Show. So House of Torture come out first, then Chaos come out next. Yano's completely back to normal, sadly. YOSHI-HASHI's coming off that great match last night. So the House of Torture jump Chaos right before the bell even starts, and the six-man brawl begins this match. So Evil tries to steal Goto's staff, which we found out Kenta calls Jora Jora, and that's the name of the staff. Kenta's a weird guy. So Goto gets the staff back. Kenta's going to be upset at Evil over that one. So eventually Kenta does fight Evil later in this G1, by the way. Eventually Chaos are able to take advantage and hit the drums on House of Torture. YOSHI-HASHI tags in and hits big chops to Evil, making Evil scream out really loud. Those were some loud chops. YOSHI-HASHI then hangs Evil up on the ropes, but Sho pulls YOSHI-HASHI out of the ring from outside the ring. They now beat up YOSHI-HASHI, spray Yano's disinfectant in the YOSHI-HASHI's eyes. Sho tags in and attacks YOSHI-HASHI's arm. Dick Togo's now helping on the arm attacks from the outside on the apron. Togo now tags in. YOSHI-HASHI drop kicks the knee, tags out to Yano. Then Yano and Togo are in there, who had a big dog cage match a few weeks ago. Yano versus Togo. Yano takes the turnbuckle pad off right away. All of the House of Torture come in to beat up Yano. Then they triple team beat up the turnbuckle pad, which was pretty funny. Yano covers the pad as if it was like a living, breathing thing. The House of Torture then beat the drums on Yano's back. More triple teams now, ending with Evil's Fisherman's Buster. Goto finally back, and he breaks the pin. So Yano hits a low blow out of nowhere. Referee didn't see it, I guess. For the 1, 2, 3, your winners by pinfall are Chaos. Next match, please. Yano and Yano and House of Torture in the same match. I guess get it out of the way early, right? In that first match. So that was harmless. It wasn't very long. Not a good match, really, but it was a nothing match anyway. Next match is Bullet Club members Chase Owens and Kenta versus Team Filthy, Royce Isaacs and Tom Lawlor. So Bullet Club come out first. They've got Kenta's music, and of course Chase Owens is with them. So that's an interesting team. Kenta got mad at because Chase was the first guest on the 2J show by Jay White. So Kenta was the second guest and was like, I'm the first, right? And then when it was Chase. So that was funny that they're now tagging. Team Filthy out next. Thank goodness that Tom Lawlor finally gets to fight someone other than TMDK or the Young Lion. This should be pretty good unless Chase is in there the whole time. So I think Chase is in there a lot. So when people give Chase a hard time, it's not necessarily because Chase is like just the worst ever. It's just because there's so many people better than him, like Royce Isaacs, who's in this match, for example. So it'll be those two that start the match, Chase Owens and Royce Isaacs. Royce puts a headlock on, then hits a shoulder tackle, and then Tom tags in. So Tom Lawlor hits an arm drag, then tags in Royce. They double team Chase a little bit here. So Kenta comes in, and a four-man brawl ensues on the outside of the ring. Chase hits both men with a rope assisted kick from the ring to the outside now. And back in the ring, Isaac is getting worked over. Kenta tags in now. Kenta traps Royce in the Bullet Club corner with some big strikes here. Tags in Chase. Chase punches Tom, who's over on the apron. Chase then goes to work on Isaac's knee and tags in Kenta. Kenta shoves Lawlor off the apron now. Tom then hits into the barricade hard on that shove. Royce then drop kicks the knee and hits a nice looking deadlift vertical suplex. Royce Isaacs is very good. Tom then back on the apron is able to tag in. Kenta versus Tom now. So this should be good. Wow. Tom Lawlor then holds the head and hits about 10 knees to the face. Kenta battles back though and locks in the game over. But Tom is able to get to the ropes. Tom then counters a charging Kenta with a nice looking leg lariat. Royce and Chase tag in. Royce absorbs and evades some attacks, then slams Chase down hard to the mat. Chase then dodges a corner attack, but Royce gets to the middle rope. Chase stops him and slams Royce right to the mat. Royce then counters a move and hits that Goldberg jackhammer. You know, that old Goldberg guy. Jackhammer here from Royce Isaacs. Kenta then breaks up the pin. Chase rolls up Royce for a 2 count. I thought that might have been in, but then Chase hits 2 C triggers and the package pile driver for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, the little bit too much Chase in this match for my liking, but Royce Isaacs was looking good. The winners by the match by pinfall are Bullet Club. Kenta and Tom Lawlor are still fighting on the outside. Kenta rakes the eyes and gets away, so they're not even in the same block. The only way they could meet Kenta and Tom Lawlor are if they are in the finals, which that would be pretty wild if the finals is Kenta and Tom Lawlor. That would be insane. So let's just move to the third match. It's TMDK, Bad Dude Tito and JONAH versus Los Ingobernables de Japon, BUSHI, and Shingo this time, since the other two LIJ members have league matches in G1 tonight. So TMDK out first. They got a fresh matchup tonight too. BUSHI and Shingo come out. JONAH has only had that sham of a match in G1 so far against Yano, probably the worst match by far. So, and that includes both Fale matches. But then JONAH had to wait 12 days for a second league match, so all the way till next weekend. Meanwhile, Shingo's had 2 tough G1 matches already. These two men will start the match, JONAH and Shingo. So that's smart. Even though Shingo's beat up, putting BUSHI in there with JONAH could get messy. So he's got to have like a 300-pound weight advantage over maybe at least 250. So Shingo and JONAH have a good exchange to start this match out. Then Bad Dude Tito tags in. Shingo hits a DDT and tags in BUSHI. So BUSHI hits a big neck breaker on the much larger Tito. Tito's not his 400-pounder like JONAH, but Tito's a big guy himself. So holy crap, right as I say that, Tito tosses BUSHI with an exploder suplex. It pretty much sent BUSHI in the orbit around the earth. Just that exploder suplex was ridiculous by Bad Dude Tito on BUSHI. Tito then gets BUSHI into the TMDK corner, and they work quick tags to isolate BUSHI now. JONAH's in with BUSHI. It's hilarious. He rips the shirt of BUSHI off with ease, and the crowd laughs. BUSHI then hits a drop kick to the knee and avoids disaster by tagging out. Shingo tries a shoulder tackle and a couple lariats, but he can't even move JONAH an inch. So Tito tries to help JONAH out, but JONAH hits Tito on accident here. JONAH and Shingo now have a striking exchange in the middle of the ring, and Shingo tries to slam the 400-pound JONAH, but JONAH just simply squashes Shingo once he left his feet. BUSHI now tags in and hits his top rope drop kick on JONAH, missile drop kick here, and then knocks Tito off the apron. BUSHI hits another drop kick to the knee and trying to get the big 400-pounder down. BUSHI dives to the outside to surprise Tito and dive on top of Tito there. Tito then dives to the outside himself with force and hits Shingo to the barricade. That was intense right there. JONAH then absolutely squashes BUSHI. Then a nasty looking power bomb for a 1, 2, 3. Thanks for coming, BUSHI. Your winners of the match by pinfall are TMDK, also known as the K9 Connection, JONAH, and Bad Dude Tito. So BUSHI looks like he hit the back of his head really hard on that. The first thing that came down from BUSHI on that power bomb was the back of his head. Excuse me. Shingo and JONAH stare down, but are not in the same block. So another one we might be able to get in a semifinal or final. I'm not sure how that one racks out. So let's move on to the next one. It'll be Suzuki-gun, Lance Archer, Taka Michinoku, and Zack Sabre Jr. versus the United Empires. They got a threesome tonight since Cobb is in a G1 match. So it'll be Aaron Henare, Great Khan, and Will Ospreay. So the United Empire come out first. Henare is severely limping from his hurt Achilles heel from the great match last night. One of my favorite matches of G1 last night. Aaron Henare versus Zack Sabre Jr., where Zack Sabre Jr. went after the surgically repaired in 2017 Achilles tendon. So next, Archer comes out. He's all mad, of course. Taka follows, then Zack Sabre Jr. is still holding on to his ribs. He took a lot of hard shots in that match last night against Henare. One of my favorite matches so far. So Archer and Great Khan are talking trash about who has the better braid in their hair, but the answer here is obviously Bianca Belair. Nobody has a better braid than her. So the classic rivalry will start this match. It is all British affair, all English affair. Will Ospreay versus Zack Sabre Jr. will start this match. They start with grappling. I think at one point they were about to start like a big brawl at the beginning, and Ospreay calmed it down by saying like, "Oh yeah, let's just have a clean, fair fight. So let's see how long that lasts." So it was Will Ospreay and Zack Sabre Jr. just kind of grappling around, catch as catch can style. Zack then has a cravat, but Ospreay tries to fight out twice. Then Ospreay flips out on a third attempt. So they super fast paced with reversals back and forth now until Zack Sabre Jr. gets the Cobra twist on. Ospreay's able to get out of that. The pace quickens again. Ospreay throws Zack into United Empire corner and tags in Henare. Then everything breaks down at this point. Namely, Henare then goes and attacks Zack, goes after Zack's heel Achilles now with a heel lock, the same one that hurt Henare. He wants an Achilles for an Achilles here. So back in the ring, Henare dominates Zack and tags in Great Khan. Great Khan tags in and hits Zack some more. Zack hits a Pele kick on the arm and then tags out. Lance Archer in, and he's yelling at Khan about his hair again. Then things break down again. Archer takes Ospreay out with a huge looking pounce. That looked great. Then Henare and TAKA tag in. Henare puts the ultimate weapon on TAKA almost immediately. TAKA tries to see if anybody can come help him, but all the other members of United Empire are able to hold the people back, and TAKA taps out. Your winners of the match are United Empire. So that's Great Khan, Henare, and Will Ospreay. So at this point, TAKA might be the worst wrestler in New Japan. Not like the worst at moves or a bad wrestler, just the fact that TAKA just absolutely gets destroyed every time. He always loses control. He's not just taking pins. He's just really always loses control right when he gets tagged in and stuff like that. So let's move on to the next one. This is a big one. So Okada and Jay White will be in the same match here. It'll be David Finlay, Kazuchika Okada, Tama Tonga versus Bullet Club Goto, Jay White, and Juice Robinson. So 3 different rivalries going back and forth between the 6 people in this match. So Okada's music hits. He comes out with Tama Tonga and David Finlay. Jay White then goes after Tama, who will meet when they come out. After Bullet Club comes out, Jay White goes right after Tama Tonga. They'll meet at the end of the block action, probably with everything on the line in that one. Finlay goes after Juice, of course. They've got their own rivalry. And guess who that leaves Goto in the ring with? Okada. So 3 rivalries in one match here. And apparently Finlay Finlay and Tama Tonga got taken out because triple team on Okada before Okada could even attack Goto. So Okada fights all 3 men off and tags in Finlay. Finlay goes wild on Juice now and sends Juice into the barricade about 3 or 4 times in a row here. Finlay then goes after Goto in the ring now, but Juice throws Finlay over the top rope. And Finlay tweaks his knee when he lands on the outside. So now there's about 10 barricade shots. The first 4 of the Juice, then Juice turns around, hits 4 more, somewhere around 8 to 10 barricade shots here. Finlay goes into the barricade hard and then into the ring post. Jay tags in now and yells about nostalgia as he locks a Boston Crab on his former Young Lion opponent when they were both Young Lions, Finlay. So those 2 and Juice were all Young Lions together, along with Sho and Yo, who have also had their own problems. They broke up just like Juice and Finlay. So anyway, Jay digs into the eyes and then tags in Goto. Finlay's in trouble now, and Juice hits 2 of his big left-handed punches from the apron. Finlay's barely in it now. Juice tags in, applies a camel clutch sleeper hold on Finlay. Finlay tries a few crucifix pins, again, showing some more Young Lion stuff here. Then Juice and Finlay reverse back and forth for a little bit until Finlay hits a Blue Thunder bomb. Now Tama Tonga finally tags in. Tama takes everyone out and just focuses on Jay now, hitting a nice spinning slam. Then Juice tries to help Jay, but Finlay takes out Juice. Goto tags in and then gets hit with a stun gun almost immediately. Thanks for coming, just like Taka Michinoku. So Tama Tonga gets the 1, 2, 3. The winners of the match by pinfall are Okada, Tama Tonga, and Jay White. I mean, not Jay White, but David Finlay. So Jay has to get help to the back, or help Goto. I mean, Goto got taken out. So Jay White helps Goto to the back. Pretty good match there. I like all the 3 different rivalries within one match. And that was our last preliminary tag match. Nothing of note happened during the intermission, so we can just move on. We've got 4 G1 League matches tonight, and it'll start in D block action with Yujiro Takahashi taking on El Phantasmo. So here we go. This is the first instance of Jay White's Bullet Club versus House of Torture Bullet Club. Will Evil's vision and Jay White's vision clash, causing another schism and yet another Bullet Club civil war? We'll just have to see. We'll have more matchups later, like I was mentioning, Evil versus Kenta, but this one is extra interesting to me. You've got an OG Bullet Club member in Yujiro Takahashi on the House of Torture side, and then one of the newer members, ELP, and also in the same group is the newest member, Juice. Well, I guess Ace Austin's the newest member, but you know what I mean. Um, those guys are on the OG. You could kind of say the OG Bullet Club, and then the OG guy is over here on the House of Torture. So pretty interesting how that all shakes out. We'll have to see how it works out throughout the entire G1, and if House of Torture remains in Bullet Club by the end of it. Anyway, Yujiro and Peter come out. She's barely got anything on tonight. ELP dances his way down to the ring, and then Yujiro says, "You can have Peter if you let me win." So ELP thinks about it, and he says, "All right." They too sweet. Peter kisses ELP on the cheek. The bell rings. ELP lays down. He's going to take the Peter over the win here. And of course, ELP turns on Yujiro, trying to pin him instead. I thought maybe he was going to get the quick 1, 2, 3. I never knew. But nope, they just try quick pins for each other here. ELP then hits a devastating back rake to take control of the match here. So the fight spills outside, where ELP might want to avoid brawls on the outside here against House of Torture. But this was just a setup. ELP hitting a nice springboard moonsault. ELP quickly takes it back in the ring and dominates Yujiro now. Peter distracts ELP by blowing a kiss on the outside of the ring. Yujiro throws ELP right off the top rope, and then Yujiro hits Pimp Juice on the outside of the ring really hard, spiking ELP on the top of his head. So Yujiro rolls in the ring, and the referee starts counting, and ELP hit his head super hard. He's struggling to get up. ELP starts going the wrong way at the count of 17, so he's just barely able to get back in at the 19 count here. Yujiro then hits a Yakuza kick and then a chin lock on ELP. The crowd's 100% behind ELP in this one. House of Torture will never be cheered in any situation. So now Yujiro hits a back rake himself. This fires up ELP, the master of the back rake, who now hits a drop kick, buying him time to recover. ELP quickens the pace now, hitting multiple slams, then a middle rope knee drop that he kind of flipped through. That was cool. ELP then tunes up the band in the corner, but Yujiro blocks the sweet chin music attempt, and then Yujiro hits some strikes. Pretty good match here, but I can't wait for Show to come have a sour ending. But spoiler alert, it's not too bad. Anyway, more combo moves now, and ELP, who gets back in control from ELP, I should have said. He was the one doing the combos. And then ELP hits a brain buster. Yujiro almost wasn't able to kick out. And then, holy crap, ELP hits a sit-out power bomb. And for sure, the first part of Yujiro that hit the mat was the back of his head. That sit-out power bomb was nasty. ELP then hits the UFO TKO neckbreaker. And Yujiro shoots his arm up to stop the pin from being a 3. And that arm shooting up accidentally low blows ELP in the yam bags. This gives Yujiro control accidentally now, quote unquote. I'm sure it wasn't accidental. Nothing is with House of Torture, but the crowd quickly is rallying behind ELP here, and a nasty looking shine by Yujiro. Then ELP's back of the head hit first, and there's your receipt for dropping me on my head, ELP, as he gets his head hit now. Yujiro then hits Pimp Juice after this. I thought that might have been it, but no. ELP kicks out. That's surprising to me. We might find out later what he was actually so motivated for. So now Yujiro up first, and ELP crumples to the ground. That really hurt him. So I hope he's okay, but nope. It looks like ELP's okay because he hits sweet chin music to buy some time to recover. ELP's holding both his head and his yam bags at this point. ELP tunes up the band again, and now Show appears as if we didn't think he would. So ELP attacks Show right away, but the wrench was slid behind everybody's back to Yujiro. Counters ELP counters the wrench shot, and now ELP has the wrench. So he throws it over the ref was trying to get Show off the apron. So ELP throws the wrench to Yujiro, then falls to the mat. The referee sees Yujiro with the wrench. And kind of an Eddie Guerrero spot here, but no DQ. So the referee just removes the wrench. So while the referee was doing that, ELP hits a low blow, then goes up for the top rope and hits Thunder Kiss 86 for the 1, 2, 3. Your winner of this match by pinfall is El Phantasmo. ELP talks to Peter, and then Peter leaves with ELP instead of Yujiro. So that might have been the little extra motivation ELP needed to kick out of that Pimp Juice earlier. looks like he has to get a fun night with Peter out of this one. So Yujiro and Showa, of course, are mad. Pretty good match. It had a lot of twists and turns. I had no clue who was going to win, and the cheating back and forth was kind of fun at the end. You didn't know how the match was going to. I thought it was over with the disqualification with the Eddie Guerrero spot, and even that wasn't it. So anytime you can have a match where it keeps you guessing and on your feet with twists and turns, it's definitely a good match in my opinion. So that was a good one. Shout out to the Yujiro and ELP. So next one we got we go from Peter to the exact opposite because Miho Abe comes out and she brings out Tai Chi, who sings himself to the ring. Tai Chi has a ton of history in this match because his opponent will be Sonata. They have a special relationship, as they call it. Miho Abe is smiling a lot more after Tai Chi got his first win over Ishii, and now she's a little bit more happy. So the announcers say this could turn into an all Japan match. Both Tai Chi and Sonata are coming from all Japan in the past, so they mentioned it could be more of a defensive counterattack battle as opposed to a strong style offensive fight you normally see in New Japan. So that's interesting. And yeah, it did kind of have a different flow to it. I didn't quite like the first maybe 10 minutes, but then it got really good. So Sonata and Tai Chi now both look super focused, and the bell rings, and of course they start with a peck dance battle. So the rhythm of the crowd is going with the peck dances. That's kind of funny when that happens. And then they tie up after that. Tai Chi takes Sonata to the ropes, and a clean break with an extra grope from Tai Chi. Remember this special relationship I was talking about. So Sonata now plays around with Tai Chi. So Tai Chi gets a little bit serious here. Tai Chi bails out of the ring, so Sonata tries to plancha onto him, but Tai Chi dodges it, but Sonata lands on his feet. So Chris on commentary while they were doing some more peck dances, hilariously did a Vince McMahon imitation. Look at the pecs. It was timely on that one, Chris. So eventually, after some more stalling, Tai Chi takes control. Tai Chi hits some kicks and tells Sonata it's time to get serious. So Tai Chi applies an abdominal stretch, pushing down on the neck at Sonata at the same time. The announcers say this is more of an all Japan abdominal stretch. I didn't know there was different variations, but that's pretty cool to know they have. It makes sense. It's how they teach things, different techniques at the dojo and stuff like that. So anyway, it was an abdominal stretch while pushing on the neck of Sonata. Sonata has to shimmy himself over to the ropes, but is successful in getting to the ropes. Tai Chi then hits a bad looking corner lariat, but Sonata just fires up off of this with a flurry, and this buys Sonata time to recover. So Sonata nips up once he's ready, and arm drags an atomic drop on Tai Chi. Tai Chi has to bail the ring again, but this time Sonata does connect with his plancha to the outside. Back in the ring now, Tai Chi counters and buys himself time to recover. This match hasn't really gotten going yet, and that's kind of what I was talking about. Maybe that's what the announcers meant by all Japan style. So it just wasn't a style I'm used to. It was a little herky-jerky, not much flow to it, but then it gets good from that point on. Tai Chi then wins the next exchange, and the crowd rallies behind Sonata. Tai Chi rips his pants off and is looking to set up a kick, but Sonata counters it with a spin kick of his own, like a spinning heel, not a spinning heel kick, but like a back kick, roundhouse kick type deal. Sonata counters with a spin kick of his own and then tries for the skull end, but Tai Chi uses a goozle to get out, looking for like a choke slam or something here. So Sonata then jumps off the ropes right into a big strike, maybe like a goozle strike here from Tai Chi. The announcers were mentioning something about Tai Chi's moveset in all Japan, but I was confused about it. Anyway, Sonata then counters, and Tai Chi counters right back. That fires Sonata up even more. He hits a rolling suplex and a rolling elbow. I should excuse me, and a tiger suplex, but Tai Chi gets right back up, hits a Saito suplex that looked nasty. So both men are down now, and the crowd claps for them to get up. Miho Abe is pounding on the mat as well. It takes them a long time to get up from this one, but Sonata eventually gets up and tries for the mood assault, but Tai Chi is able to stop it. Both men are on the ropes now in the corner, and Tai Chi goes for a choke slam, tries to choke slam Sonata off the middle rope, but Sonata backflips out of this onto his feet on the mat. That was pretty cool. Sonata then hits a 2 count TKO for a 2 count, and the crowd is absolutely loving this. And I would say it's definitely heating up now. Sonata then up first. He puts skull end on, and Tai Chi's in trouble now. As I write that, Sonata takes it to the mat. Tai Chi refuses to tap out. And in something like 30, 40 seconds now, This skull end has been draining Tai Chi. The referee checks on him to see if he's unconscious. No, Tai Chi's got a little bit fighting him. He's never tapped or passed out here. So Sonata just releases the hold since he refuses to tap and goes for the mood assault. Tai Chi counters the mood assault here and goes for the previously injured eye. The orbital bone of Sonata that forced him to vacate the U.S. title is now been targeted by Tai Chi. So he pins Sonata after this, but only for a 2 count. Both men get up now, and Tai Chi hits a big rolling elbow of his own right into Sonata's bad orbital bone. Big shot there. So Tai Chi's up first, but Sonata blocks the last ride powerbomb attempt. Tai Chi then goes for Kawada kicks, but then nails a super hard kick within those softer Kawada kicks right to that orbital bone again. The axe bomber now from behind has Sonata reeling, but Sonata has a little bit of fight in him. So Sonata evades an attack and gets a bridging pin on Tai Chi for the 1-2-3. Wow. The winner of this match by pinfall is Sonata. Sonata is holding his bad eye, immediately puts an ice bag on it, as both men now go to 1-1, 2 points after 2 matches. Sonata, we now see his eye. It looks very swollen. His eye is already swelling shut. He's putting that ice on it to try and prevent it, but I have a feeling this is going to swell up even worse. Good thing we don't have an event tomorrow, but we right back to at least preliminary tags that Sonata will have to be in 48 hours, probably 40 hours from now. Or no, 48, because this was a show that started earlier. So, man, Sonata really got his eyes swollen. They really hit him. Like, that's pretty insane. So Sonata puts the fist out for Tai Chi. Tai Chi reluctantly fist bumps Sonata, and then they all leave. So really good match here. Can't believe Tai Chi actually gave Sonata a giant goose egg on his eye. That looked wild. So I almost said it's time for the main event, but nope, this is the second to last match, and it will be an A block monster block match for our next match. So Bad Luck Fale out first, and his opponent Jeff Cobb is out second. So I don't even know what to expect on this one. So let's just see. Fale starts out with a hip to the gut and then some great looking body punches. One of the best moves Fale does is those good boxing body punches. He's got Cobb in the corner now. Fale hits a corner splash, but then Cobb clotheslines Fale right over the top rope to the outside. Cobb Fale's out there, but follows Fale out there, but this was a mistake. Fale just hits a big swipe with his arm to take the legs out from Cobb, sending him crashing to the apron and the outside. Fale looks for another count-out victory, but now this was a mistake from Fale because Cobb gets in with 9 seconds to spare. So Fale, all he did was give Cobb time to recover. Fale does go back on the attack right away, and Cobb tries to fight back, but big strikes keep Fale in control. That's going to be a theme of this match, what I just said right there. So Fale talks some trash. Cobb fires up again, hits a couple forearms, but Fale knocks Cobb down and surfs on Cobb's back. That's one of Cobb's moves. So Fale said in the backstage comments last night that he would be doing this, and he's a man of his word. So Cobb now fires up from all that disrespect to having his own move done to him, but again gets stopped by Fale. But Cobb hits a drop kick right after that, and Cobb makes a mistake by trying to let Fale lift Fale, and that gives Fale back control yet again. So about 6 or 7 times now, Cobb has tried to make the comeback, but Fale keeps control. Fale hits a big splash on Cobb now for a 2 count. The crowd's rallying behind Jeff Cobb. Fale looks for the grenade Umaga spike here, but Cobb blocks it, and again Fale stays in control. Wow, 8 or 9 times, I'm saying. Cobb then escapes a bad luck fall attempt, and Cobb hits a massive vertical suplex. So here we go. Finally, Cobb can get in control. As I'm writing that, Cobb lifts Bad Luck Fale up and hits a massive looking tour of the islands for the 1-2-3. The winner of this match by pinfall is Jeff Cobb. And wow, that tour of the islands was massive. I guess Jeff Cobb never even needed to be in control. He just needed to outlast the onslaught long enough to then hit a couple of big slams and get out of here with the win. And that's exactly what happened. So Cobb can't even stand up straight. His back is messed up from this match. And guess what? Cobb, the monster block doesn't get any easier for you, you've got Lance Archer next. So that's going to be a good one. Cobb has a hurt back now. Cobb and Fale both go to 1-1 with 2 points alongside Yano, who has 2 points. And Okada is the early leader in A block with 4 points out of 2 matches. But for instance, Tom Lawlor hasn't even had a match in A block yet. It's so silly how they got this set up this year. But anyway, it is main event time, and this match should be epic. You've got both Hiroshi Tanahashi and Tetsuya Naito losing their first match in G1, and there's only 6 matches total. So this year, if you're at 2 losses, you're almost guaranteed to be eliminated. And we've got Naito saying in the past that he didn't really want to wrestle much past 40. Well, Naito just turned 40. You've also got Tanahashi starting to doubt himself in the backstage segments. But more importantly, he's got a lot of bumps on his bump card and is entering the twilight of his career as well. So maybe this could be one of the last big main events between Naito and Tanahashi, a rivalry that's gone back many, many years when Naito was going to be the next ace, the next Tanahashi. Naito chose a different path, and that's led them to here. So Naito comes out first, and he's got his nice black suit back on, the no baseball jersey like last night. So last night, Naito was in the preliminary tag match with Tanahashi, and Naito worked on the arm and neck of Tanahashi last night. So Tanahashi might be coming in with a bad neck. Tanahashi now out next. Classic Tanahashi gear. His hair's tied up. Man, this should be good right here. And spoiler alert, this is a great match. So the bell rings, and Tanahashi takes Naito right away with an arm, takes him down to the mat. Naito gets up to his feet, and they counter each other a few times and start the match with some grappling on the mat. They both get up, and the crowd absolutely love it. Back on their feet, they tie up, and Naito gives a clean break, but Tanahashi kind of just stays on the attack right away and hits a bunch of big strikes, taking it all the way to the corner. The referee has to come and break this up. Naito now charges in, but a back elbow from Tanahashi takes control, and Tanahashi does the Tranquilo pose on the ground of all things. Didn't expect seeing that tonight. Naito then counters and rakes the eyes and throws Tanahashi right over the top rope. Tanahashi holds on to the top rope, but tries to skin the cat, but Naito hits a nice drop kick to send Tanahashi to the outside. So Naito then follows and throws Tanahashi into the barricade. Naito then hits his reverse DDT on the outside and puts that same hold on Tanahashi that Naito used last night. So it basically traps the arms and the cranks the neck at the same time. It's like a leg lock type deal. So Naito might have been able to get a count out win here, but Naito throws Tanahashi into the ring with 1 second to go on the clock. So we're not even like 5 minutes into this match, and we just kind of established that Naito could have won there because he had that submission hold on for so long, and Naito throws Tanahashi in the ring with 1 second to go himself. So Naito now back in the ring, puts that same hold. So it's like a arm neck attack here. Tanahashi gets to the ropes to break the hold. Naito now keeps his focus on the neck, hitting a neck breaker, puts Tanahashi up on the middle rope and hits a draping neck breaker from the middle rope for a 2 count. The crowd's now rallying behind Tanahashi, and they definitely want Tanahashi to win. This crowd does. Naito just then hits kicks to the head and stands on Tanahashi mockingly here while raising up the fist. More kicks to Tanahashi's now, and stomping now because Tanahashi's flat on the mat. The kicks turns the stomps from Naito. The crowd rallies again for Tanahashi to get up, and even more cocky kicks from Naito now. That fires up Tanahashi, who gets up, hits a nasty looking palm strike. This backs Naito up while Tanahashi catches the leg on the next kick and hits a dragon screw leg whip. So here we go. We've got knee attacks now, and we've got a lot of knee attacks ahead of us. So Tanahashi goes on the attack. He hits some forearms, a scoop slam, and then looks like he's going to do his somersault senton from the middle rope, but he fakes it. And even Naito expected that, but Tanahashi just jumps straight off the rope and stomps down on the knee of Naito. So another dragon screw leg whip after that, and now Naito's knee is officially in trouble. Tanahashi also has a bad neck now, so don't forget, we've got bad neck versus bad knee. Naito now counters the next attack and hits combination cabron, and Naito hits a nasty flip face buster off the middle rope. It's basically an inverted blockbuster. Pretty cool move there. Tanahashi then blocks a Destino attempt, so Naito hits Gloria instead. Then Naito applies his version of the Koji clutch, and now Tanahashi is in the middle of the ring with an already bad neck in the Koji clutch. That's a variation of the regular move. So Naito has him in the very middle of the ring. This hold is on forever before Tanahashi gets to the ropes. So Naito then keeps the Koji clutch on even past the rope break. The referee basically has to like pull him off. So the damage has now been done to Tanahashi's neck, and Naito is also limping around. So Naito hits elbows to the neck to keep control, then 3 more elbows to Tanahashi's neck. The crowd tries to will Tanahashi on, but Naito then hits 3 more big elbows to the neck. This sets up Tanahashi on the ropes. Naito hits the top rope Hurricane Rana, but Tanahashi rolls right through for a 2 count. Massive spine buster now by Naito, drops Tanahashi right on the back of his head. That looked nasty. But Tanahashi's able to hit another dragon leg whip before needing time to recover. So that knee of Naito's getting banged up. Both men struggle to their feet now, and when they do, a forearm battle breaks out, and this is an epic forearm battle. Tanahashi has to be very careful. He's got a hurt neck here, whereas the forearms aren't really going to hurt the knee, so this is more dangerous for Tanahashi. They literally hit about 30 forearms each. Then Tanahashi starts to hit multiple. Naito answers back with multiple of his own, but Tanahashi wins this exchange, this epic battle of forearms here with more multiple forearms at the end. Them answer back Naito's multiple. So at least I thought it was over, but they go right back into a forearm exchange now. Naito goes to Naito sees he might be losing it again, so goes for the elbow to the neck to win this exchange overall. Then they lock up, and Tanahashi hits not 1, but 2, but 3 twists and shouts in a row. So Naito now tries to fight back, but Tanahashi hits not 1, but 2, but 3 sling blades in a row. This was definitely looking good, and it might be looking like it's about to be a repeat of Naito versus Goto on Wednesday, where Naito had a body part of Goto severely. Goto's arm was probably down to about 8%, 7%. Me a drink. And yet Naito lost that match. So we're kind of looking like the same thing here. Naito's losing control here towards the end. Tanahashi on the top rope now hits massive aces high at the crossbody. Things are looking bad for Naito when Tanahashi goes to the top rope, but Naito evades the high fly flow attempt. So Naito quickly tries to roll up Tanahashi. That only gets a 2 count. We're at about the 21-minute mark now, so about 8 or 9 minutes left before a time limit draw. So could it really be both men on 1 point after this match? So both take time to recover. We're probably down to 8 or 7 minutes left, and now both are hitting strikes. Naito takes control with a flying forearm off the ropes, so like running forearm. So Naito hits a big move, but Tanahashi counters. Naito hits a big move, then goes for Destino, but Tanahashi counters it with an inside cradle for the 1-2-3. So the winner of the match by pinfall is Hiroshi Tanahashi. Naito has fallen to 7th place in C block, which is dead last. Naito will need a miracle to advance now. Both men are sitting in the ring, pondering what just happened. They say a few words, and then Naito just leaves. So, great stuff here. Wow, what a match. I did not expect it with the end with that roll up there. I had no idea. Maybe once it was to like the 22nd minute mark, I was thinking, is it really going to be each with 1 point after 2 matches, which would have been a cool story too, but nope. Tanahashi gets his first win in G1 against Naito. So of course, whoever wins the main event gets to talk to the fans. So Tanahashi gets on the mic and says, "Thank you for supporting us. We are able to do what we do because of your support. The summer G1 is back. Now the question is, how can we have you enjoy this even more? The answer is if I win G1." So Tanahashi takes his time to thank the fans, doing a lap around the ring. And now in the back, Tanahashi talks to the press and says, "This is the first time I've been able to defeat Naito in G1. It's a big deal to me. And from the bottom of my heart, it's a huge load off my mind. It's, as much as there is a bit of relief, there's a wave that we go through when you finish a match. Then you wake up, you go to the gym, and get ready for the next match. You have to concentrate with all your power. There's a lot of memorable matches I've had against Naito, but October 2010, facing Naito for the title, there was a feeling after that match. The feeling was from now on, we will bring pro wrestling up together." The way Naito's changed since then makes that statement a little embarrassing, but and then it kind of cuts off. So maybe we'll find out more. Definitely check in tomorrow. At some point, I'll be releasing backstage comments where I read out all the comments in case you're not a fan of reading all the subtitles and stuff. So just check those out. I've been doing that every night alongside these reviews. So I do the review live after the show, and then when the transcriptions come out or the translated backstage comments come out, then I put them up in a separate video. So really good main event here. Just to quickly tell us what the blocks are looking like. It's too early to kind of really look too hard, although now we know like people that have 2 losses are already in trouble, Naito being one of them. But on the flip side, the leaders of the blocks right now are Okada is A block leader, Jay White is B block leader, Zack Sabre Jr. is C block leader, and then D block is tied between Juice and Ospreay. So like I said, like Okada, for instance, has 4 points after 2 matches. Well, in that group is Tom Lawlor, who has 0 points out of 0 matches. So some people have 2 matches already. Some people have 0 matches. You can't even really look at the standings yet until we get maybe another week into this thing. But the one thing we can look at is that basically if you get a 3rd loss, you're absolutely eliminated. And if you're at 2, you're teetering on the edge. So I'm sure one of the groups is going to have somebody with a 2 loss, so it can be like an epic story. Maybe it'll even be Naito, and Naito gets through with 2 losses. You never know, because they could set up something like that. Like it's not like likely, but then they can make it any way they want. They could all have a 3-3, 7 people on 3-3, and then have a ton of tiebreakers. That'd be sick. But anyway, pretty good stuff. No show tomorrow. Then we'll be back Tuesday and Wednesday, and then Saturday, Sunday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday again. So I got a lot of shows coming up. What is that about? More than 50% of days coming up in the next 2 weeks have G1 attached to them. So I'm going to get going for now. I'll be back later today or tomorrow with I'll be back with the backstage comments. In case you guys don't like to read subtitles, just come listen to that video. But yeah, really good event overall. I really like the Tai Chi Sonata match, and then the ELP match, and was pretty entertaining too. A Yujiro House of Torture match that was pretty entertaining. Go figure. But ELP is great, and I didn't know who was going to win that match. There were so many twists and turns at the end of Yujiro ELP that I had no clue who was going to win, which made it fun in the end. So, and we even got a little Eddie Guerrero tribute. So anyway, Tai Chi Sonata, another great one. A little bit of the beginning part was a little confusing to me. Maybe that's the all Japan style that I'm not used to, but then that one picked up through the halfway point. Bad Luck Fale versus Jeff Cobb was terrible. We all knew when Bad Luck Fale got introduced as being in G1 yet again that it was going to bring bad matches with it. And if Lance Archer doing lucha libre moves alongside Bad Luck Fale and it still couldn't be a good match, then there's no hope for anybody else. So Bad Luck Fale, I mean, he's an all right guy. He's cool to have around, but you don't need him in G1, that's for sure. And then, of course, Tanahashi versus Naito. What an epic main event. Could be the last main event they ever have against each other. You never know how things could shake up. So you got to enjoy it for what it is. I might watch this one again tomorrow when there's no G1 if I get some time, and just sit back and watch Naito versus maybe I'll go back and watch that October 2010 one that Tanahashi was talking about as well. So thanks for tuning in. Enjoy your guys' rest of your weekend, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Peace.